Hi, hand readers. I love sharing my understanding of the craft of chirology. I'm highly experienced. I've been at this for over 30 years now. And today I thought I'd share 7 of the qualities that, in my opinion, are important for anyone who's considering stepping into chirology as a profession, or if you're thinking of including the work of the hand reader into your existing healing practice. At the risk of stating the obvious, we need to have the clear understanding and sense that healing is at the heart of our unique life mission. We have an impulse to help others. We think about hands and reading hands, and when we think about that, we get a yes in our bodies. It's as if there's an attraction. Something lightens, something lights up or ignites in us, and the idea of touching people's hands comes into the mix here. And then you just know in your heart and soul that you are a healer. This is clearly the fundamental quality that every therapist and every healer needs to have. Second thing is, again, a bit of a no-brainer. It's perfectly obvious that you do need to have curiosity about hands. So to the extent that hands are something that just keep entering your orbit, you think a lot about them, you notice them a lot, something lights up in you when you bump into a nice book about hand reading, you study, you read, you watch, you feel that perhaps like I did, I had a sense of having done it in previous lifetimes because I was having so many dreams about hands when I first began. I was even getting downloads about what certain markings mean in the hands, and it was just like, for me, I was blessed to have been born for this. But the whole idea here is that you are just attracted. There's an allure, and like I mentioned in a previous video, it's like you can't get off the train once you've got that attraction. So the second quality is that you're magnetically drawn to people's hands. A third quality is the capacity to hold presence. In a sense, we put a capital P on that word, presence. It's like being a vessel, it's being a container, it's a holding space. And your presence is that of being a light bearer, really. You're an agent between realms. When we read hands, we are messengers, we are guides, we are truth speakers, we are channels, we're keepers of frequency, we're holding space, we both receive and keep energy. And that really relates also to self-trust, to knowing that you are a person of integrity, that your intentions are of the highest order, so to speak. A fourth quality, hand readers do need to be willing to show up for other people's suffering. This is, again, a bit of an obvious quality. It's our choice to be healers, so obviously people who are hurting, suffering in whatever way, or even just seeking some kind of guidance or support are coming to us because we can hold that space for them. But we feel very committed and we feel very motivated to learn and study more about counseling and coaching. I always recommend this as being quite fundamental to the hand reader's work, because same like intuition is 1/3 component of our work, so counseling and coaching is a 2/3 component of our work. When I talk about the components of a hand reader's work, I divide that into 3. The first is a system by which to interpret hands and to be able to identify, obviously, the markings and the features. And then the second, as I've just mentioned, relates to the delivery, how to counsel, how to coach, how to listen. And then the third, and what I now consider to be perhaps the 5th important quality that a hand reader needs, and that is to be intuitive, or to begin to trust your own intuition. So it's really about having a high level of resonance and interest in developing and refining your intuition. Refining our intuition is intrinsic to our craft. So to become a good hand reader, you want to have a curiosity and an interest and an active participation in cultivating and developing and refining your intuition, your intuitive perceptions, and learning how to trust them. Of course, this is not easy in the beginning, but it goes with the work. And interestingly, the more analytical you are when you begin studying hands, in other words, the more you steep in the system of how to read hands, the more intuitive you become. You learn the system and then you set it aside, and then the channeling starts happening. Something a little bit more practical now, and perhaps a sixth quality that a hand reader or budding hand reader will need to move into hand reading as a profession, and that is to be willing to be available, to be seen, and to show yourself for what it is that you offer. So here I'm talking about marketing, branding, having an interest in marketing and branding yourself in a creative way. This is highly important in our world today. Clearly, it's not like you can just be at home and wait for people to come to you. You have to show your face out there, and it feels okay for you to learn the necessary tech to show up for yourself in this way. Again, very challenging for many people. You need a mailing list, you need a website. Clearly, that's your calling card. You are going to be needing to show up on social media. There are a lot of organizational and practical skills involved in getting your name out there, and of course one needs to be keen and enthusiastic about learning how to market and brand yourself optimally. And last but most definitely not least, in terms of the qualities you need to be good at hand reading, and that is that you're willing to be wrong. This is about being very humble, because you will make mistakes. Believe me, I've made plenty of mistakes in my career as a hand reader. Cringeworthy stuff at times. Perhaps sometime I'll share with you my biggest mistakes ever as a hand reader. I often think about that, of like, I could really write present quite a list of oopsies. So in spite of these uncertainties and doubts and imperfections, somehow we cultivate enough emotional intelligence and enough self-integrity to believe that as healers, we are worthy of continuing to be available to those who seek our guidance. I like to think of somehow transmuting my vulnerability into strength. It's no easy task. It's something I struggle with probably daily. But where else to go? This is part of the work of being a therapist and healer. Whether it's hands or anything else, I'm sure you can completely relate to what I'm saying. There's a courage involved. Courage is one of the fire qualities of our craft. You know, I like to work with the elements, and fire is the resonant element of courage. It comes from the word cur, meaning heart. It's a Latin word. So the courage of the heart to stand in your truth, to stand in your own sense of impeccability and availability and pure-heartedness, and to say, I'm here for you. I'm here for you, humanity. If you need my help, show me your hands. And on that note, I'll say cheers for now. Please like, subscribe, and pop over to my Instagram. I do post these fabulous little daily memes. I think you'll really enjoy them. The link to Instagram is below. And also have a look at my website, where you'll find info about my courses. There's a link there too where you can just apply to get the prospectuses. And continue watching, and I'll see you very soon again in the next video. Bye for now.